China has once again reiterated its claim over Taiwan. The country's president, Xi Jinping, who is eyeing a historic third term in power, has made it clear that the communist regime would never commit to abandoning the use of force on Taipei. While addressing the Communist Party's once in every 5 years Congress, Xi Jinping vowed to take all necessary measures to ensure the island's reunification with China. Listen in. Further condemning the interference in the matter, Xi Jinping told the Communist Party delegates at Beijing's Great Hall of the People, and I'm quoting here, "Reunification of the motherland must be achieved. China sees self-ruled democratic Taiwan as a part of its own territory, to be reclaimed one day by the military intervention if necessary." The recent visit by the US delegates has irked Beijing, and it eventually restored to increasing the Chinese military surveillance in the Taiwan Strait. The China's war games near Taiwan in August pushed tensions to the highest in decades. Taiwan is strengthening its defenses for the possibility of a war with China. Xi Jinping's clear warnings of overuse of power, if required, have forced the island to brace for a possible attack. Meanwhile, the Taiwanese president has outlined steps to boost the military, including mass production of precision missiles and warships on the Taiwan's National Day speech on Monday.
Resolving the Taiwan question is a matter for the Chinese, a matter that must be resolved by the Chinese. We will continue to strive for a peaceful reunification with the greatest sincerity and the utmost effort, but we will never promise to renounce the use of force, and we reserve the option of taking all measures necessary. This is directly, solely at interference by outside forces and a few separatists seeking Taiwan independence, and their separatist activity is by no means targeted at our Taiwan compatriots.
And for more on this, we are now being joined by Rose Fingold, who is an Asia political risk expert from Taipei. Welcome to the broadcast, Rose.
Good afternoon.
So on very expected lines, at the opening of the 20th Communist Party Congress, the Chinese president has called for a reunification of Taiwan with China and said that resolving the Taiwan issue is a matter for the Chinese people. My question to you is that how do you assess these statements made by the Chinese president?
Very similar to statements that Chinese government makes with frequency. This is their stated position, whether it's spokesperson from government agencies or the people at the top of the national leadership, including Xi Jinping. There's really not much new in the particular sentences that you cited. More recently, of course, they are very focused on what they call foreign forces or foreign interference. That was before Speaker Pelosi visited Taiwan in August, but certainly after her visit and with other visits by members of U.S. Congress and from the European parliaments, Japanese parliamentarians. Again, that is not new by itself. But there's certainly a great focus on this from the Chinese government, this kind of warning to foreign governments or members of parliament. More recently, the initial reaction to Elon Musk's statement about Taiwan was also to say foreigners don't interfere, although subsequently the Chinese government decided they liked what he said. But the principle from the Chinese government perspective that they don't want foreigners interfering, that is just very consistent with their previous positions.
Right, Ross, like you said that the Chinese president does not want any interference of any foreign hand. He also said that they will never commit abandoning the use of force over Taiwan. Do you see this statement made by the Chinese president further escalating the geopolitical tensions, especially when the United States of America has called China its biggest challenge?
Again, that's also not new. I mean, the fact that China has said they reserve the right to use force, or they retain this option, but they prefer peaceful unification with Taiwan. Again, nothing new. Obviously, China is putting enormous resources into improving their military capabilities, whether that's for a potential invasion of Taiwan, the border disputes with India, or other security needs that they see from their perspective. So the use of force is something that not just Taiwan, but other governments take very seriously, and specifically the governments that are most likely to come to Taiwan's aid in the event of a war. That would be the United States and potentially Japan and Australia. And the people of Taiwan need to take that very seriously. Unfortunately, I would say, having looked at the news coverage today in Taiwan, monitoring the TV news, there's not a lot of focus on Xi Jinping's speech. Most people here are focused on a passing typhoon and a local election that's occurring at the end of November. And really, life in Taiwan doesn't stop just because Xi Jinping has repeated a threat to use force against Taiwan.
Thank you for joining us on WION at this hour, Ross. We will, of course, be tracking this throughout the day. Thanks very much.
Thank you.